So last week we left off with me still in South Dakota. And there's probably times when you should just say, okay, time to go. But I couldn't do that. The hunting was just too good. I know most of the time people think hunting's just simple, it just works out. Well, not so much on this hunt. I just added up. We've been sitting in a blind for 91 hours already. No shot yet. That doesn't mean we're in a bad spot, it just means things haven't worked out right. We've been hunting over the decoy, we've been putting the time in. I've canceled the next trip trying to stay here because we've got huge bucks here, but unfortunately it's not working out. I don't know if blind fever's a real thing, but I'm pretty sure I'm getting it here pretty soon, so I hope it comes together. When it does, it'll be that much better. Just hoping it actually does come together at some point here soon. Well, I canceled trips that were coming. I moved everything around so I could stay there. Now, one of the issues I was running into is I hadn't been aggressive enough. I had been hunting for a little over a week straight, and I just kept inching on where I wanted to be, but I didn't want to risk pushing these deer out. Well, now I was confident. I felt I knew what these deer were doing, and I knew exactly where I needed to be. So I picked up that ground blind and moved right to where I should have moved from the beginning. The trouble is, you can't just pop up a ground blind when you're whitetail hunting. You really do need to brush it in. So what I was looking for is a shady area that I could tuck that blind in so that way it really wouldn't stick out quite as much. It'd be a little bit protected. But the issue is, I couldn't necessarily see what was going on to the right. There was a big opening there, but we just couldn't see it. So we were really being ambushed by the deer in certain areas. You couldn't see when they were coming. And the very first thing that we see coming through, a big old mule deer. His mouth is wide open, running through, and I'm watching him, and I actually had my little camera filming him out the side window. So our big camera's set up front, and all of a sudden, I see tine. We're talking nice set of antlers right there. I'm at 5 feet from the blind. I pulled that camera back in, and I said, shoot her, shoot her, shoot her. And I set my camera down. Brad got on it, and all of a sudden, this beautiful buck just takes his time walking through the grass. And as he's coming through, my heart is just pounding. Now, what I did do, which wasn't very smart, is I was keeping my decoy a little bit too far away. Usually I like it about 15 yards. Well, it was out there about 30 yards, which was giving me a little bit longer shot. And as this buck came, well, he swung wide around that tree, and I knew this is my shot. I got to full draw, just kind of waited for him to get by the decoy, and for whatever reason, I thought he stopped. I made a noise, I thought it was over, and I squeezed the trigger. He was still walking. He was just beautiful. Nice tines, a mature deer. He decoyed in perfectly. We saw him the whole way. I just got too excited, and that's what happens sometimes when you're deer hunting, especially with the decoy. It's pretty exciting hunting, and well, things definitely can go wrong, and they just did.
This segment was brought to you by Sportsman's Alliance, our heritage, our fight, protecting hunting from coast to coast.
Did you know that Ohio is home to the Sportsman's Alliance, which was created when animal rights activists tried to stop trapping within the state? The future of hunting depends on sportsmen sticking together regardless of what you do. Whether you're a deer hunter, duck hunter, fisherman, or you trap, anti-hunters love to divide sportsmen and try to ban the hunting of animals based on this method, such as with bait, when you're using dogs, or even archery and crossbows. Just another fun fact showing how sportsmen and women are helping make a difference. So with a miss under my belt, well, I knew we were still in a great area. I mean, South Dakota has some of the biggest whitetails that I've seen. And what I like about South Dakota is the number of deer. You are talking tons of deer all the time. They're constantly moving around, and there's no better time to be out there than during the rut. Now I was hunting with Ben Bearshield on the Rosebud Reservation, and Ben and I have had tons of fun in years past. In fact, way back, the very first time that I ever was able to get a whitetail, well, I met Ben on that trip. I got a nice, beautiful 12-point Rosebud buck, and it was awesome. And it's one of those things, when you see bucks like that and you get a beautiful deer, well, you want to come back. And the next year, well, Ben invited me back to go turkey hunting. Not only was the hunting phenomenal, but I had become very good friends with Ben, and I was looking forward to coming back and doing a bow hunt with him. Ben's a huge archery hunter. He's gotten some beautiful bucks over the years. In fact, he has shot an absolutely giant mule deer. You never know what you're going to bring in. Now, once we were in this setup, we were much closer to the action, but again, I didn't want to get so enthralled with just hunting this one area. So Ben said, hey, I've got a great ground blind in another area. Why don't you head there, give the spot a break? We weren't going to have the best winds for the next day, so we decided that's where we're going to go. Well, we're almost there. Now, one of the tough parts about where we're going is it is way down there. We've got a long hike in, but Ben has got a ground blind down at the bottom. And the reason I think this is gonna be so awesome is it is so windy up on top today. We've got awesome trees here. We've got steep ravines, and it cuts down into this big draw, and that's where a lot of these whitetails are. In fact, there's even some muleys in there too, but should be a really great setup. He said we've got good visibility. Oh, if I get a buck, I don't know how I'm gonna get the buck and this decoy and all my junk out of here, but I'm thinking about maybe I need to get a pet deer that'll just walk along with me, put a little saddle on it, carry some of my stuff, but for the time being, I got this heavy decoy instead. When we got there, absolutely beautiful. Nice green grass in front of us. It was really a flat spot among all the hills, and we were looking at a really windy day. So what was good about this is I felt this was a protected area where these deer were going to want to be. Now, when I'm out decoying, I like to look for areas with good visibility, and this spot is just perfect. As you can see, we've got a wide open area. There's a steep ravine, there's a big creek on the other side, and there's a heavy trail. And why I like having a heavy trail is because these deer are coming through here naturally, all the better. Now, right now the wind's blowing just like this. My blind's over there, so I'm gonna face my decoy into the wind. When these bucks come through, they should want to fight them head on. But sometimes they want to get downwind too, so with this setup, should have a shot either before or once they get downwind, or when they come right up front to fight them. This buck looks awesome. His ears are laid back, he's all bristled up, and that's what can make the difference. You can have any decoy out there, but when you've got one that looks this good, well, then you can keep them in close for quite some time and make sure you can get the shot. I'm just gonna spray him down, get back in my blind. Good news is, a lot of good bucks coming through here. Now, hopefully, it's just a matter of time.
This segment was brought to you by Boss Buck. For the most user-friendly and dependable feeder on the market, choose Boss Buck feeders. Now you're getting serious. Winchester Deadly Passion is presented by Cutty Back Digital. More deer, fewer blanks. Hard-hitting Easton Arrows. Golden Triangle Whitetail. Winchester, celebrating 150 years of legendary excellence. Scent Killer Gold with Hunt Dry technology. Apply it, dry it, and go hunt. Rage Broadheads, leading the evolution in lethal technology. Sportsman's Alliance, protecting hunting from coast to coast. Engel Coolers, the original high-performance cooler company. And Moose Utility Division, your leader in ATV, UTV accessories.
Some hunts, well, they're just too good to let go and walk away when you're supposed to be done. And the Rosebud Reservation in South Dakota was one of those hunts for me.
The reservation is located in south-central South Dakota. There's a wide range of species, anywhere from mule deer and whitetails to turkeys, and basically consists of a lot of rolling hills, pine country, a lot of creek bottoms. There's a lot of prairie ground. The land base is right under 1 million acres, So there's a lot of land to hunt and a lot of area to cover.
I put my decoy out and positioned it according to my blind. It was just a phenomenal spot. We got in that blind, and as we sat there, it wasn't long and we had a doe coming through, and of course, right behind her, a nice buck. Now, as he came through, you could tell he's a younger deer, but what I liked is this setup worked. Everything we needed to happen was coming together. He came through, could have had a perfect shot, and that's what you want to see as a deer hunter. You're not concerned as to how big he is. Sure, he wasn't the big mature buck I was after, but what I did, what Ben did, all that was right. Our setup was perfect. We drew them in to where we wanted them to be, and it all worked out. Wasn't quite the big buck, but I knew there were some nice deer in this area, and hopefully it was just a matter of time. That's why I love hunting the rut so much, because when you see a doe come through, we better grab your bow because there's probably a buck trailing her. Absolutely love it. After sitting that blind one day, well, I kind of wanted to go back because I knew there were some big bucks in that area and I didn't want to give up on it yet. So we went back one more time, and as we were sitting there, we had a nice deer come in. Just wouldn't quite decoy in how I needed. He's kind of walking in, frontal shot, eyeballing our decoy, but that's the tough part. Not every buck acts the same to a decoy, and he just wasn't sure of the situation. I'm pretty sure we drew that buck in because of my decoy, but that's some of the problems is then he would not turn for it. Thought for sure he'd parallel walk that decoy, but no luck today. Beautiful deer though. It's just an awesome spot down here. That's the second buck we've brought right into the decoy here. Last night we had another buck. It just makes deer hunting so much fun when you're on the ground with them. You've got them coming into your decoy. You don't know what they're gonna do. Hopefully we'll get another one. If not, we're gonna move locations and we're gonna go back to where we've been hunting. We've kind of been skipping around blinds, but there's some beautiful bucks every single place, so it's just a matter of time before we get one that's a fighter and wants to take on my decoy.
Memory Chase, building our future, one child at a time.
Memory Chase is all about getting more kids involved and features hunts from viewers just like you. This week, we're going to Kentucky with Ryan Widmeyer.
So what day is it? It's October 9th, yeah. And where are we going?
We're going to Premier Outfitter with Mark.
Yeah. For what?
Whitetail.
Are you excited?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Which shot was Daddy's? Okay, and which shot was Ryan's? Shoot, you take your time. You got to take the safety off. Take your time. Right on his shoulder.
I hit him. I hit him. I hit him. I hit him. Oh, he good. Dad.
You got him, buddy. Dude, I love you. That was awesome. Mr. Howe said he was going to sit up there on a hill and watch you shoot your buck.
Yeah.
Wow. Holy smokes, dude. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Look how fat he is.
Oh my God, Ryan.
Oh my God.
Was that not unbelievable? Unbelievable.
Still shaking.
Good for you.
If you or someone you know has youth hunting footage that they'd like to share, we'd love to feature their hunt. So a chance to see your kids on TV, a new mission bow, plus tons of other great prizes for each weekly winner, why not enter today? Memory Chase, building our future one child at a time.
Winchester Deadly Passion is presented by Winchester, celebrating 150 years of legendary excellence. Matthews Archery, catch us if you can. Field and Stream, where traditions begin. ScoutLookWeather.com. Download the free ScoutLook hunting app for your smartphone. Reinhardt, the best archery targets in the world. Analogics, protect your deer herd with the power of science. Winchester, the American legend. Sure Shot Jewelry. Check out the Melissa Bachman collection today. And Boss Buck, for the most user-friendly and dependable feeder on the market. Now you're getting serious. Closed captioning is brought to you by Cuddyback Digital. Upgrade to Cuddyback and your images will never look better.
Well, as we'd been hunting, we'd been making moves, trying things, and we were running out. I literally had blown off all my other hunts afterwards. I had been there for over a week, going on 2 weeks, and I still didn't have my buck. So I'm getting right in where they are. I am not waiting around anymore. I'm making the most aggressive move. I probably wouldn't do it on the first day, but I felt I knew exactly what these deer are doing. And bingo, it worked. As we're sitting there, we had a big mule deer come through, right through the shooting lane, but I didn't see him right away. In fact, we were watching a doe, and that buck was right below. Absolutely a shooter, but by the time we saw him, it was already too late, and he's passed it through, and I thought, that was our chance. But this is where the deer want to be. It's a windy day. I had just brushed in the blind. We got everything set up. And the next thing I know, there's a giant. I see tines in the bushes, and it is that buck we saw the very first night. And all of a sudden, he starts kind of bobbing his head because our brush is moving all over on the blind. It's making noise. We've got windy conditions, and I'm like, we're gonna bust him with just the brush in here. He doesn't even know we're here, but all he can hear is the rustling around. But he instead walks through right to our shooting lane. I get to full draw, and I'm thinking, it's all gonna happen. What are the chances? We just had that huge buck that we've got pictures of. He came in right behind the decoy, full draw, standing there broadside. I'm just taking my time, trying to calm down, and a branch blew right off the top of our blind, went flying down, spooked him away. He just bounded over the top of the hill. It is so windy out here right now, and I was trying to keep everything steady, just taking my time, no need to rush. And then that happens. Yeah, there was a need to rush. Sometimes, bad luck. Well, if you didn't have bad luck, I wouldn't have any luck at all. And I thought, our hunt's over, we're out of time. My cameraman had to go home, but I didn't. I still had one morning left before I absolutely had to be at the next location. So Ben and I decided, Brad's going home. We're gonna go out with the little camera. We're gonna just try to get it done. We got out, we set up, we're just having fun. We decided at 1 o'clock we're leaving. 1 o'clock came and I said, we can give it 15 more minutes. In that next 15 minutes, a muley came in, saw our decoy, started raking the trees, and all of a sudden we realized this was it. And I was a little bit smaller than some of the other deer we had seen. Ben said, take the shot. We've put in so much time, so I got to full draw. And I missed. This buck is sitting there raking the trees. He didn't even know I shot. So I loaded, got another arrow knocked, went through, got to full draw. Where's he sitting?
He's going down. He's going down. He's down. He's going down. He's gonna go down. He's down.
Made a perfect shot, heart shot this mule deer. He ran straight at our blind and tipped right over, and honestly, might be one of the most excited times that I've ever been after shooting a deer.
Did you believe what just happened? He almost ran us over. We were just gonna leave.
We had 15 minutes left, and we were gonna leave at 1, and I thought 1:15.
It's past 1.
When you put in 2 weeks of work, you're gonna be pretty proud of any deer you take. And this really just shows that yes, you can put in that time trying to get a big buck, but at the end, it's just all about the experience. It's about the fun times. And we even called Brad, and you know what? He already knew. As soon as he got the call, he said,
So how big is it?
and that's just the way it works sometimes. But it truly was an amazing trip, just a fun time and something I'll never forget. I hope year after year I can head out to the Rosebud. You've got wonderful people, amazing deer hunting, and lots of great times.